Hello princesses! Today I'm going to be talking about the Etude House Dear Darling Water Gel Tints. There are so many Dear Darling tints with different names. I'm starting to get a little bit confused as to which is which, but I have got the ones that are in the popsicle shaped packaging, and these are the 4 newest shades for the collection. I have previously reviewed the 6 other colours in the original collection and I absolutely loved them, so I knew that when the new colours came out that I had to have them, even though they weren't the best suited colours for me. I think the original collection is definitely more my vibe and my skin type than this new collection is, but I really enjoy completing collections as well, so I just had to have them. Plus, I mean, look at it, it is so freaking cute. You can't even deal with it. So the product description says, the moisture tint expresses sweet colour like ice cream as it refreshingly melts into lips. The packaging of these tints is of course super cute. They are shaped like little popsicles, which I think is absolutely adorable. The handle of the wand is a little small and fiddly to hold, but it's mostly easy to use, and each tint has a doe foot applicator for the wand. I find these a little bit tricky to apply accurately because the wand is so short, but it's not the worst applicator I've used. There are 4 new colours in the collection and they seem to be based mostly upon brown shades, or at least the deeper, darker autumn to winter colours. RD308 is a beautiful warm toned red shade. This is a lovely classic shade and it is really pigmented. The majority of the first shades in the collection were quite sheer, with the exception of the first red. I really wanted to compare the 2 red shades from the collection to RD308, which is the new shade. I found that RD308 was much darker and a little bit more warm toned than Shark Red. Watermelon Red is a very similar tone, but it is much lighter and sheerer than RD308. OR207 is a vibrant orange shade. This shade is quite similar to RD308 because it is very pigmented, but it's a very red-based orange. I don't mind this shade too much. I'm not usually a big fan of the orange shades, but this does look quite red, so I think it looks quite nice on my skin tone. These tints don't have the best longevity, even with the darker and more pigmented shades. They don't dry down to be smudge proof, so whenever I eat, they do wear off quite quickly. However, since they don't dry down, they feel quite moisturising, which I actually really like. BR402 is a beautiful brick brown shade. This shade is quite sheer and mixes really beautifully with my natural lip shade. This shade has a gold shimmer throughout the formula, which I can see on the container, but on my lips or on the arm swatches, I can't see it at all. It is probably my least favourite out of the range because I just don't love brown tones on my skin tone personally, but I still think that the inclusion of a brown tone is really great. Just because it doesn't look amazing on me doesn't mean that it won't look absolutely beautiful on princesses with different skin tones to me. BR403 is a dusty rose shade. This shade is definitely a little bit more up my alley and probably gets the most wear from me out of these 4 shades. It looks so pretty on my skin tone and it's actually quite similar to BR402, but just a little bit pinker, which I personally prefer. Unsurprisingly, I still really like these lip tints. I actually don't mind that these don't dry down to be smudge proof because I find that they keep my lips more moisturised this way. This is definitely a personal preference, and I know that this aspect of the tint is something that other people really hate because they want something that dries down to be super smudge proof and lasts all day so that they don't have to reapply it. However, I personally prefer something that's a little bit more moisturising because my lips are very dry, and when the tints dry down to be super smudge proof and matte, they tend to really accentuate the dryness of my lips and the lines and the wrinkles, and it just doesn't look very good for me. I also refuse to get fillers in my lips at the moment because I do play the flute, so it is quite important for me to keep my mouth looking or feeling the same because I don't know how lip fillers would do with flute playing. I don't know if that would affect it or not, and I'm not willing to risk it. I went to university for flute playing for 6 years and it's a lot of money, so nope. So because of this aspect, I want my lips to look as nice and plump as I possibly can. So using products like these are actually such a godsend for me because they just make my lips look nice. Is that too much to ask for? I don't think it is. Like I said previously, I think that the colour range is really pretty, however it is not the best colour range for me. I find that the original 6 that I have actually get a lot more wear still than these ones do, just because of the way that I dress and my skin tone. I find that the sheer and pastel shades work the best for me. However, I do think that during the autumn and winter for me, these ones probably will get a little bit more wear as well, because they're going to go well with the autumnal clothes. They are really pretty and they're all very wearable for me. It's just not like, I don't look at them and think, oh my god, I've got to wear you now with everything and you're going to work with everything, because it's just not me. These tints have extremely cute packaging. They're pretty inexpensive at about $5 US each, and I find that the entire colour range is really beautiful. And I think now that they have the deeper, darker and more autumnal shades, I think that there is something there for everybody now as well. So these are definitely products that I would recommend and I absolutely love wearing. Thank you guys so much for watching this review, and I'll see you next time.